Welcome back to the channel, everybody. As everybody knows, well, my subscribers know, I tried the mahi fish. It was only my second weave I ever done, and it was a total bust. I did this layout. It was like 35 threads and 80 wraps, but I used size D. I set this up for size D. And I think I got a picture of it somewhere. So I'll post it right now in the video here. But it came out like a wreck. It was a total bust. So I think a lot of it was to do with going with size D thread. So I redrew this whole thing again with size A thread. This took me probably 3 hours to make because it is over 7,000 little squares on this total sheet. And you can only when you're doing the like to click on it and make everything in that one area blue, I'm only allowed to do 150 squares apparently, or the program crashes. So I would have to draw a line, have about 150, use the paint can blue and paint it all blue, and then do it again, and so on and so forth. But I made the fish again. Instead of having the four colors with the gold and then the light green thread up here, I got rid of those. So it's just going to be blue, green, yellow, and then just 4 black for the eyes. So I'm going to try this again. Here is the one with size D thread, and this is the one with size A thread. It looks a little more detailed. So in this video, what I'm going to show you is how I set up to do a weave. Now, this will be my first try with multiple colors on top of each other. I have the green, the blue. Oh man, it's all knotted up here, but I got the green, blue, and yellow already done. So the only thing I got to do is get some black. I wrap it around this, and then once it comes back all the way around and back up here, that's 1, 2, and so forth. So I'm gonna get the black done because I only need 2 black threads. But you can't just put 2 black threads on there. I drew a line on this wooden dowel to show center. Here's that shark weave we did the last time. We're going to leave that on there. I'm going to epoxy these and keep these threads. But we're going to put another wrap right here next to it, and it's going to be the mahi. I drew a line so I could see where center was. And when you use these jigs, it's going to go like that and like that. Now you want the center, so we're doing 55 threads on this one, I believe. Yeah, 55 threads, 128 wraps it'll be. So I'm going to start with like thread 27 on the black line, and then go 26, 25 all the way to 1, and then go back down, so that when I go to do the black, now the black thread is only going to be in, here's my left list I printed out for this size A thread one. And if anybody wants a copy of these, you could always send me an email, and I could email you the thing. So it says black right here is thread 33 and 34. So we're going to start with 27 and then go down to 34 so that we know it's in the 34 spot. If you just try to guess, you'll never be in the right spot. So we use this line as our center, and we're going to put 27. We're going to put 27 on this line here, and then we'll go 26 through 1 that way, 28 through 55 that way. So all the threads will be on top of each other. So we're going to start with the color we're going to use last. So we'll probably start with the black, and then we'll do the blue on top of the black, and then we'll do the green on top of the blue, and then we'll do the yellow on top of that, because as you can tell from the picture, we're going to start with the yellow. So whatever one we start with, we're going to want on top. So I'm gonna get some more black ready, and it takes hours to get these threads on, but I just want to show you the process of getting this done. Again, I don't know how this is going to turn out. My first one was a bust. This guy here is really ugly. I think this one looks a little more detailed with the smaller blocks, so we'll see how that works. And we'll get some blacks on here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I wish you would consider subscribing to the channel. 77% of my views are from non-subscribed people. Now, don't get me wrong, I appreciate all you that are subscribed, but if you're not subscribed to the channel, I really would appreciate it. Then you won't miss out on future weaves and rod wraps and stuff like that, because those videos seem to do good, so that's what I plan on continuing to work on. But I'm going to pause this video for a minute. I'm going to get the black ones wrapped around here, get those cut, and then I'll start back up when we start setting the jig up itself. Okay, so I got the black done as I said I was gonna do in the previous video. I'm gonna try not to damage that rod wrap or weave we have right there. So I'm just gonna put some tape on here. I don't like this blue tape. I wish I would have bought the regular blue tape, but this one's not very good. So I'm gonna come over here. Let me slide this jig down a little bit. I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna just put this, because masking tape sticks to this wooden rod, and let me tell you, it don't come off, but this blue stuff comes off pretty good. So I'm gonna put a bunch of tape, if I can find my masking tape. My wife, I'm a slob with my work area, and my wife was being extremely nice and didn't yell at me, but came out here and decided to clean it up for me. And now I don't know where nothing is. But that's what I get for not cleaning it up. So what I like to do here is build up a little bit of a lip right here. I'll slide down a little more so you can see, like right here, because these threads have a lot of tension on them, and it will slide this jig forward. So what I like to do is give it a lip so that it can't slide forward. And as you can see, it's hitting it and it won't slide forward. Now when you have these jigs, I got them from Mudhole. You can go to mudhole.com and look at these. I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but these are the ones I got. They're okay. They're good. I had some problems where they didn't cut all the way through, and my threads were falling out. So I just got a razor blade and I cut them all the way down better so they grip the threads better. That's something to consider. But this one with this little bridge right here, that one goes to your right. And you're going to try to center it roughly with your line. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a piece of tape on this thing to hold the back still where I want it. And move these black threads out of my way for a minute. I got threads everywhere. I know it's all going to turn into a knot here in a minute, but it is what it is. So let me get this out here where I can get at it. So what we're going to do is trying to keep that in the center position. There we go. So I'm just going to get some tape around there. You don't want your jig wandering. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the end. I know it's not in focus on the camera, but I'm just running tape around the back end of the jig. Just keep that thing completely secure. So that should hold us good. The jig is secure. I'm pleased with it. So, as I was saying before, the black Let me move this jig out of the way here. Get my black thread. I got all knotted up back here. I'm going to set this here. So, as you can see, the black is it's only at 4 blacks in the eye. So, to keep center, you want to start, I drew a line on there. And this is just a wooden dowel, but if you're using a rod, you could put a piece of tape there and draw a line on the piece of tape and then pull the tape off later on. So this is, I said I was going to start with thread 27. Oh no, I went too far with this. Thread 27 is barely going to fit. Okay, so we're gonna move this down. I'll come down here with it. I want my thread was a little too short for the jig. Okay. Still don't look like that's centered right, but I'm going to line this up with the line, because that is the most important one. That's going to keep center. And then we're going to start with thread 27. The 27 is going right down the line. It isn't center. I knew it wasn't. Okay, it's centered now. Let me see. Can you guys see what's going on here? Move that this way. Now I should have everything in focus. So we're looking for thread 33 and 34, so we're just going to go to thread 28 now, and I'm doing that so that they stay in their order. So you just want to be right next to that thread and then go to 28. And do that until we get to our 33 and 34. And 29. And I'm not gonna, this is gonna take hours to set all these threads on there. There's literally hundreds of threads that are gonna go on this. And I'm praying this one comes out better than the last one, because the last one was very ugly. So that's, hey, there's a bug. Okay, there's that knot I was telling you about. Okay, so that's 30. Okay, and then what I will do now is I'm gonna, this tape is a little more sticky, so I'm gonna go across it with this tape this time. And then I'm gonna add the next color, and then I'll just keep doing this until all the colors are the where we want them. And I'll just keep going here. Okay, so we've got the black on there. This thing does not seem to be wanting to stay where I want it to be. So we still got our line there. What I'm gonna do is, you gotta keep these things straight. So I'm gonna use this ruler and go across that line I drew on this dowel, and I'm just gonna put a little tiny mark right there. So I know that's my 27 mark. So we were gonna go with the blue next. And we got a ton of blue to go. I think it goes down to like 35 or something, but it goes all the way to 1. It starts up at 1. So we're gonna get our first one right on top of, and we're going over the top of these. So we're going to start this one at 27. So that 27 right now has got a black and a blue in it. And then I'm not going to bore you with all this. And we're going to go down 26, 25, all the way to 1, and then come back the other way. The tape will stop being sticky, and I'll add another layer to it also. But I'm gonna probably fast forward all this, or I probably just get rid of the footage. I mean, just show you once it's done. But it's all basic. Just keep building. Keep your threads really tight over here. You want them just touching each other. And keep going down. It's gonna take forever. I think this part takes longer than actually doing the wrap. Okay, so that is 40 blue threads. I don't think I need to go any further. I'm pretty sure that stops at like 37. I just went a few extra just to make sure. So we'll have to put more tape over here, and then we have to go over the top of those again with the green. Now the green looks like we're going to go up to, because each one of these dark lines here is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then it's 55 threads altogether. So it looks like there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it looks like it's on thread 15, the green stops, and it goes almost all the way to the end, 4 threads from going to the end. So what we're going to do is, that took me 20 minutes roughly to put on the blue, which is way faster than it was last time with the size D thread that wasn't even half as many threads as this. Well, we had 35 threads. Yeah, it was more than half, but we had 35 threads on the D thread when we tried the Mahi Mahi, and it was a bust. And this one is 55 threads going. So we're going to get it set up again. You want those to stay right still. You don't want those to come loose. I'll tell you that right now. I'm just getting some more stickiness. Yeah, I think I'm going to put one right over the center too. so we got our stickiness again. I'm going to extend our line so we know where center is. That's why I drew that line on here. So we know that little black dot I just put on there is thread 27. So I have a bunch of, I didn't know exactly how, if I was going to wrap all 55 black, 55 blue. We're going to find out in the end if I should have done it, because if threads start to jump out of order and stuff, I should have just laid them all on there, you know. But I only needed two really. I only needed 2 black threads. And I don't need 55 blue threads because it's only up here and then here. But if it starts jumping when I'm like laying them over the top of each other, then I guess we'll learn that we should have done it that way. So I don't know. My whole first wrap was a bust, so we're gonna see if this one comes out better. I'm hoping so, because let me tell you, I was embarrassed to show you guys, but I want you all to know that you're not going to be perfect 100% of the time. I've been extremely lucky. All the wraps that I do for you guys, all the rod wraps that I've done for you guys was my first try every time, and I did good. I have to say that mahi that I showed you earlier in the beginning of the video, that was my first bust. And let me tell you, it looked horrible. And after you put in 3 hours editing, 2 hours editing the picture to make the black, you know, the left list, about 3 hours doing the whole left list is all together with the picture and writing it all down, and then another couple hours putting the threads on, because that was my first time overlapping them, so it took me at least 2 hours. So there's 5 hours right there, and then another hour wrapping it, 6 hours, and it looked like garbage. So you get discouraged, but you got to overcome that, because you're gonna have fails, man. That's what it's about, learning from your mistakes and learning from my mistakes. You guys got that, you know, that going for you. You get to learn from what I'm doing wrong. So I'm gonna put this other jig, later on, I'm gonna put it over here, and then I'm gonna probably pick the camera up even higher and show you how I do this weave, going from what a left list is and everything. I'll explain all that to you. It's going to be a further away video, and not like my Zoom videos like I normally do. But I'm going to get set up to start doing the green here in 1 second. Let's start with our green. Got a pile of this stuff here. I don't think we need a ton of it, but we're gonna go right along. I think if we go to 10, we have more than enough that way. So let's get this first one's your most important. Okay, these are our last few yellows going on here, and then we'll run a piece of tape over this thing. In the next video, I'll zoom all the way out so you can see both jigs and see how I go about moving things to the left and back to the right. But this is how you set it up. It's very time consuming. Like I said, I probably got, I don't know, between roughly 5 hours, I would say, into this whole setup of getting everything on the rod ready to go. And I'm praying this one goes better than the last one because, as you know, that last one was a bust. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, comment. I answer every comment. I love the comments. And I'll see you in the next one.